Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you. You should have told me that earlier, Paula.
I didn't think about it. I just looked, and I'm so used to running the meetings. I went to record.
I know, I'm teasing. What inspired you to write this book?
I think the biggest inspiration for the book was looking at my nieces and nephews. I have several, and some of them have chosen to remain celibate, to be virgins. I've got a 32-year-old nephew, a 28-year-old nephew, a 25. So they go down the range, and just looking at their lives and the pressure that they're under in terms of the sex in our society. Everybody's doing it, or at least that's what they think. So I wanted to be an inspiration to them, to let them know somebody else has done it for a long time.
Okay. How long did it take to write the book?
The book took a year. When I turned 60, I asked the Lord for my 60th year of life. That was 10/10/21. I want to be able to write this book before I turn 61. And I finished 3 days before my birthday.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is the book about? Tell us something about the book.
49-year-old virgin, people will assume that it is just about my walk of virginity, but it is so much more. Because it's a memoir, I also talk about our family history, and I compare the lives of my grandparents, my parents, to mine. I had a grandparent that when he was 16, already had 3 kids with a 4th on the way.
Wow. Wow.
When I was 16, I made the decision to remain a virgin until I got married. So the book is about transformation. The book is about the love of Christ and how the Lord can take your life regardless of your beginnings and transform it. Thank God that same grandfather received Christ. I talk about another tragic event in our family lineage and how that person was able to recover. And I think the book also talks about the importance of family and how the love of a family can help, support, and guide you. When I was 16, not only did I vow to remain a virgin until I got married, I also signed a covenant with my father. And many of you know my father, Superintendent James Childs, and I put on the dotted line, Dad, you're going to be involved in my choice for a mate, and I am not going to have sex until I get married.
Was that covenant your idea or your father's idea?
Actually, neither. We were at a conference. We attended a Christian conference in Ocean Grove, New Jersey. And the speaker at this event invited everybody, all of the fathers and the daughters and the sons, to enter into this covenant. And my father and I were 2 of the people that did on that day.
Okay. How was it working, doing church, and then writing a book? How was that daunting? How did that work?
The writing process was great. I'll tell you, I have a saying, and I don't know if I heard it someplace or what, but I say, where the Lord guides, he provides, and where he leads, you will succeed. And he led me to a writing group, and they are not Christians. A lot of times we get stuck and we think that the only people that we can learn from is other believers. But I thank God for this writing group. We literally meet Monday through Friday for an hour, and we are able to write during that time. And then each week we give critique of each other's writing. So that particular group was very instrumental. And because of the consistency, the accountability, and knowing that I needed to check in with someone to say, I've accomplished this much, that was a lot of motivation to help me stay to the task and to get it done.
So it sounds like you're saying that it really would help to have a group or a team to collaborate with.
Well, that's the word. 2 is better than 1, right?
Okay, yes.
So it's about team.
Okay.
God created us with community in mind, and we should do life in community.
That's great. That's great. Let me ask you a question. So you said you decided at 16 years old, I'm going to remain a virgin. Now I'm going to ask the hard question. So do you think because you remained a virgin, your marriage is better?
I do, because I did not carry a lot of other baggage into my relationship with my husband. Our lives are very different. My husband has a very different testimony, and I could see the difference in our struggles and in our experience. And I thank God, the Lord knows the purpose partners that we need in our life to help
Purpose
us
partners.
become more like him. And I'll tell you, my first year of marriage, I remember crying one night saying, this is hard. And also saying, whoo, 1 Corinthians 13, not keeping track of the wrongs. Ooh, I had a hard one with that. But the Lord, he's creating and molding me, breaking me to look more like him. And it was made easier because I did not have to deal with peeling off the drama from other guys, the trauma or the experience, and possibly even physical or health-wise issues that I brought into the marriage because I yielded myself to another body.
Sounds great. Okay, so how did you get it published? How did you go about getting it published?
I actually self-published. I started my own publishing company called Dr. P and Me, LLC.
Amazing. So we can come to you if we want to publish books.
Yeah, well, I can work with you.
Okay. And last question, how do we go about getting the book? And do you have a picture of the book? Do you have the book on hand?
I don't have share rights, so I can't.
Oh, I thought I did that. I'm sorry.
No worries. But the book, if you go to, in my name, I have an email address, meetdrpaula.com, meetdrpaula.com.
Okay.
On there, you'll see a link to purchase the books. Since I did the book in the last 2 weeks, the audiobook has come out. And I love to read. I am Miss Drama Queen when it comes to reading. I still am an educator. But when I was in the elementary classroom, I would read aloud to my students every day. And the teachers from the other classes would come and shut my door because their kids were listening to me. Okay. So I enjoy reading out loud. So the book is now, oh, go ahead. Lady Robinson is holding up the book. Thank you, Lady Robinson.
That's what I wanted you to do. Where is she? Let's get a picture of the book on Satira.
Yeah, I guess I could have did that too.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Put the book up. You don't have to necessarily share it on the screen. Just
amen.
Put that book up. There you go. There you go. There
amen. You go. So the other thing that I would like you to know is the Lord has given me other books. I'm looking for people to look at early copies of a book called Boundaries. Boundaries is something I talk about in the book. And my husband, when John asked me, well, how'd you do it? I said to him that the Lord gave me boundaries, and boundaries is an acronym. And in this book, I break down what that is. You believe in God, obey his word, understand his principles, no wed, no bed. So this book will talk about that. And I'm in draft form, and I would love to get feedback. So if you are interested, if you can just send me your email so I can include you in that. If you are on my newsletter list, I'm sending out an email this afternoon anyway to collect that information, but just invite anyone that is interested.
So let's give your email again so that they can know how to reach out to you to become a part of that newsletter and to get information from you. Let's give that email out. Sure.
So if you go to info@drpaulacperez.com, I'll put it in the chat.
Yes, that's right. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. And lastly, again, how much is the book and where is it sold?
Well, I have it every 4th Saturday, so I'll be there next week if you want to get it from me.
Okay. Okay.
The audiobook, right now we're doing a promotion on a couple different platforms. So I would look up the audiobook for the 49-year-old virgin. And Many of them are giving it away for free if you sign up for a free trial for a month or two. So the book is available in Barnes & Noble, on Amazon. You can order it through Target. It's available in several places. And again, if you go to meetdrpaula.com, there's actually a link on my digital card where you can go and see the information.
Thank you, Paula, for allowing us to interview you. Thank you so much. If you don't have the book, I really suggest you get the book. It's interesting. It's got humor. It tells you, we don't know each other. I said this to someone just yesterday, that we kind of go hi in the meetings and we don't really get the chance to sit and talk and to get to know one another. And Dr. Perez tells a lot about herself in this book and her family. And I found it to be very vulnerable. She told things that you normally wouldn't want to tell. She was very daring and very bold. And
very
so
transparent.
Yeah, very transparent. If you don't have the book, get the book. As she said, she brings it on the 4th Saturday. How much is the book again?
$20.
$20. I think you can spend that at McDonald's one trip. And
I'm sorry, can you just also make note of the fact that in the back of the book, I actually have tips for parents, tips for singles, and I summarize my story. So many times I credit my mom for teaching me about sex in the context of my walk with Christ. So when I was 11 years old, she said, oh, sex is good. When you have it, you're gonna want to have it all the time. But God designed it to draw married couples closer together. So wait until you get married. And she used the analogy of the china in our china closet, how special dishes, we hold on to them for special occasions. And I needed to hold on to my sex until that special occasion of marriage.
That's amazing. And so are you available for, that's another question I want to,
Definitely, for retreats, women's meetings,
okay.
Definitely. I'd love to come and facilitate. I'm a born educator and I can't help. And it will be very interactive and an opportunity to help and to pour into not only your women, but your young people as well. And this is a message boys need to get.
Yes.
Amen.
So I'm reading in the chat.
Boys got this message.
Amen.
We wouldn't have half the problems we have.
It's true. I'm reading in the chat, Sister Lady K said, I bought 2 books to give one away. And that's a great thing. We want to be a supporter. So thank you so much, Lady Perez. Thank you for your time. And this is a time that God, I believe, gave me, and it's titled Network Now. If you have any kind of business or skill, if you're working on an upcoming project, we would love to spotlight you and collaborate you and feature you in our next Network Now session. You can email me or text me. Many of you have my text, or you can email our secretary, Lady Sandy Rush. I prefer you do that because you should all have her email. She reached out to everyone with an email to remind us all of this upcoming meeting. Just respond to that email. If not, we will give you all that information. It's on the flyer, as a matter of fact, that I sent out to announce this meeting. Send an email to her. Let us know what your project is. Let us know what your accomplishment is. We want to celebrate you. We want to collaborate with you. We want to feature you in our next Network Now session. However, do not do it the night before. This theme, COGIC's theme this year, is our mission made possible. And one thing about a mission is takes preparation, but I'm not going to get into that because we have some great dynamic speakers. Thank you again. Let's all put our hands together for Dr. Paula Perez. Remember, Network Now, this is something that we are going to be doing as often as we have someone to collaborate with, someone that has something to share. Anything you have accomplished, any of your accomplishments, any of your projects, we want to support you. We're back in the hands of Lady Connie Jones. Thank you.
Amen. What an awesome interview. What an awesome interview. And I can relate to what she was talking about. This is something that our young men need to be taught. Our young women need to be taught. It needs to be discussed openly. Sex is not something that you hide. It is a gift from God. And when it's used in its proper use, we are blessed.
Right.
I just thank God for this great interview. Delayed but not denied. She's able to tell her story, and it may have took a year, and it may have taken what she went through to get to the story, but telling that story will help so many other people. And we thank God for her endeavors. We thank God because it takes the love of family, and she made that covenant, that covenant with her father before God, and it became precious, and out of her life became a story. I thank God that I think that she has encouraged those who have the thought to write a book, those who have had the thought to write the book and have not succeeded. I thank you for the encouragement that you poured into my life, because I have started to write on the same subject, as a matter of fact, because our young girls don't know how precious and how it's a gift from God. Yes. And it's nothing wrong with it, but God is just motivating our bodies, bringing our bodies into order, so that when we come together with our mate, it is just what God has ordained it to be. So I thank God for the encouragement you have given us. Yeah. And when I like when she said, the Lord guides, he provides, and you will succeed. I thank God for that. And then it takes a group. It takes us a team coming together, working together in order for us to get the job done. So thank you so much for that interview. Thank you so much, Sister Henderson, for that Network Now. Women, be prepared, get ready, because something great is coming from